know this history, but you need to. Public housing was created for white folks, right? For the first couple of years, it was very hard in most parts of the country for people of color to even get access to publicly subsidized housing. It was created for poor white folks to give them an opportunity, a leg up to come into the so-called middle class. But at the very same time that the government creates those public interventions in the housing market for white people, they also created some other programs that were sort of duplications of that, but even better. They create the FHA loan program, the VA loan program, later on the GI Bill program. In theory, these were open to everybody, but in practice, virtually all the benefits went to white folks because the criteria to qualify for these loans, which were government guaranteed loans, loans without which you could not have gotten a house in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Virtually all the benefits went to whites because the underwriting criteria, the lending criteria, essentially excluded almost all people of color, with just a few exceptions. So in other words, the neighborhoods became racially identifiable because certain folks were able to hustle it out to the suburbs using those loans, right? Leaving the ones who couldn't get the loans in the city. And then you couldn't get a loan in the city because of redlining and other forms of discrimination. So these neighborhoods become white, these become black and brown, these become middle class to affluent, these become poor, not because of anything having to do with the people that live there, but having to do with the decisions made by people who most definitely do not live there, right? Because what if my kids ask me that and I don't know the answer? What if your kids ask you and you don't? What if a child asks a teacher in a classroom and they don't because they were never taught it? Because wondering, what do you think her conclusion is going to be? Because she's going to come to her own conclusion. And you know what that conclusion is going to be. The only one it can be in this culture. It's the conclusion that this society has already handed her on a silver platter. What is it? You know, because it's the conclusion that comes from the fundamental guiding ideology of our country, the thing that we've all been taught, the thing that we've all been exposed to, the secular gospel of America. The creation myth of America, Genesis 1:1 of America. And you know what it is. The Genesis 1:1 of this country is what? Wherever you end up is all about you, right? Because if you just worked hard, you'd have made it. If you didn't make it, there's something wrong with you. You should have worked harder. The notion of rugged individualism, right? That's the fundamental building block of our country. And then you look around and you see this level of inequality and you don't know the backstory of how we got that inequality, then you end up defaulting to the idea that these people are down here living like this because there's something wrong with them. And these people over here are up here living like this because they're superior.
Preparation meets opportunity. Why are you so easily distracted? Just like somebody can distract you, the blessings are going to keep passing your ass by. Quick, quick. Because you don't want it bad enough.